Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Monday, the 2nd of December. Well, on the horses, it was a profitable day, and on the football, we needed just one more goal for the over 2.5 bet. So on the horse racing, it was £5 staked, £7.52 back. However, it would have been a different story if the Donald McCain horse would have ran a little bit better. It still ran a half decent race. It did fade quite quickly towards the end up the hill, but um, I'm sure that'll help its handicap mark eventually. So let me get into Monday's selections. So I do like the look of an awful lot of the horses at Wolverhampton. So what I've had is I've placed the bet now. I'm not going to wait for the free bet because I haven't actually changed it to three £2.50 free bets, but the selections are at Wolverhampton. So let me talk you through it. So as I said, these are each way lucky 15 tips. So the first bet I don't know why there's colours missing, all that kind of stuff. There were colours missing on the Sky Bet betting for three races, I think it were. So let me get into it. So as I said, it's a 10 pence each way, lucky 15. I'm not going to go into detail because I'm a bit pressed for time, but also I shall just tell you very briefly about each one. And I've also had a pound each way accumulator on these four horses. So the first selection is Damon in the 4:30 at Wolverhampton, paying four places instead of three. I believe only last year it was much higher in the handicap. Dominic French Davis recently had a huge price winner. I think it was 150 to 1 or 125 to 1 the other day. Well, this isn't that price. This is about 6 to 1. But I do think it's an extremely well handicapped horse. Have a look at the form, and I think it's got a decent chance tomorrow. The second selection is King's Gem in the 5 o'clock at Wolverhampton, paying four places instead of three. If this horse was given a better ride, then I expected to be able to sneak into a place. It's been very odd the last two times. Zoe Davis ran it. No, Zoe Lewis rode it last time. Who's on it today? She claimed seven, and William Carson rode it the time before. It seems like it always seems. I think this is this horse. I think it always seems like it seems to lose a shoe. I may be wrong, but I think it's becoming very well handicapped. It's currently the outsider of the lot. I've left the price, but I think 14 to 1 is okay. But if they like I said the other day, if they're prepared to make it the outside of the lot, I think there's room for it to go a lot bigger. So that's the second selection. The third selection is Caplet Lazarus in the 6 o'clock at Wolverhampton. This is trained by Mick Easterby. It's got a good chance on form. It's 4 to 1 currently, which I think. Well, don't go wrong. I've not took the price because it could be any price, but it's shown a decent standard of form off of 74. What I wouldn't like to see it is slowly away because that would tell me straight away that it's getting its third run and that they're waiting for a handicap. It needs to be prominent, this horse does, and I think it's got every chance. The fourth selection is my nap of the day. I backed it twice. My only doubt about it is the fact that it's coming off a break. So this horse, I think, is now becoming very well handicapped. The horse is a regular on the all weather, and the horse is called Starfighter, and it's 11 to 1 in the 8 o'clock. Sorry, no, it's not in the 8:30 at Wolverhampton, paying four places instead of three. It was regularly tackling much better company the last time it was running on the all weather. Dropped down in class. Excuse me. Dropped down in class, and as I said, it's become very well handicapped as well. So it's much lower than it was. I think this horse has dropped £10, but was running in class fours. I believe this is a class six. If this horse is fit, it's got every chance. It's just that I don't know if it is. I believe also this horse has run well off of breaks in the past. Problem is, picking so many horses, I never quite know whether I'm applying the right um, logic, or if that's what you call it, or explanation to the right horse. But anyway, have a good look yourself. You decide what you want to back. These are my selection. Well, not being greedy. These are my selections. Don't feel obliged to have them. Have a pick through them. But the three that you've seen above, Damon, King's Gem, and Starfighter, are all off handicap marks where they can run much better. Doesn't mean they're going to place, but I'm expecting them to, and what I want them to doesn't mean they will. Capital Lazarus, it looks slightly progressive, but holds a steady around about in the 70s racing post rating, which is more than competitive, as long as they don't hold the horse up, as in like towards the rear. So a 10 pence each way, lucky 15. Well, this so straight away you can see that Starfighter at the top of the screen is the same colours as African Star. David and Mark Loughnane have got an awful lot of runners tomorrow. They've got 4 in one race. They've got 2 each. So I think this bet is actually a Loughnane. 3 of them are Loughnane horses, and one's another trainer. But anyway, let me get into it. So African, African Star is the one who runs well off a break. So African Star in the 7 o'clock at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. I think that's about 8 to 1. The second selection is Run Around Sue in the 7:30 at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. That one's trained by Rod Millman. Rod Millman does well when he takes his horses to Wolverhampton and Southwell. That's only just from memory. He may have a huge loss to a level stake. I don't know, but from memory, he always seems to pop up with a win, especially at Southwell. But this isn't Southwell. This is Wolverhampton. But his horses come from I think it's Dorset. So long they're not coming up here for nothing. So yeah, Run Around Sue in the 7:30 at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. The third selection is Commander Straker in the 8 o'clock at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse generally shows about the same. It's quite consistent, although it's had its problems. It always seems to run to a mark in the 70s or 80s for the racing post ratings. This horse was keen last time over a trip too short for it. It's been stepped up in trip, but it regularly runs over 6 furlong anyway. So I think I think this horse. The only problem for me is it's drawn wide. But I think if it can be slowly away and they tuck it in, and it's seen no daylight until it turns the bend, it might have half a chance. But it's a decent price. It's about 12 to 1. I just think it is quite well handicapped. And finally, Starfighter again in the 8:30 at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. As I said, I'm taking fitness on trust, but if it was 95% fit, if it was fit without being, obviously it's not match fit, but if it's fit, I think it's got every chance. It's interesting how many runners the Loughnanes have got. Originally, I was looking at Scott Dixon because he's got quite a few tomorrow, but in the end, I changed my mind from the Scott Dixon camp to side more towards the Loughnanes. So I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.